Okay, we'll go ahead and open these up for questions for Heath or Coach.
Coach, just talk about the excitement of being here and being the next head coach here at McNeese.
I don't think there's a more exciting place to be in the country for a new head coach, in the fact that I'm able to take over a team that won the first time ever NCAA tournament game, and being able to build off two consecutive regular season championships, two consecutive tournament championships, and just to be able to get in with these guys that'll be coming back and build towards getting that third, and like I said out there, then try to make history as we continue on.
Coach, do you feel like you could have walked into a better situation?
I do not. I don't think there is a better situation. With what Heath and Will and Dr. Roos and everybody involved, the community of Lake Charles has built here, and the excitement that is around this program, and the success that they've had over the last 2 years of going 40-2 in the Southland, and not losing a game at home in the Southland, to have that home court advantage, and then being able to use that, then being able to take that into the conference tournament and play in our own building to go to the NCAA tournament. I don't think there's a better situation in the country.
How much of a scouting report did you get on everything from Will?
Pretty in depth. Will and I are like brothers. I believe I said that out there, but we talk just about every day. Have for probably the last 8 years, and he told me everything. This is he when he came here, and how grateful he is to Heath to taking that chance on him. I knew he was going to win right away, and I knew that this was going to happen, and I knew that then I would have an opportunity to be able to follow in his footsteps. Once he moved on, and so we talked about it a lot. I actually was here for the Southland, the first Southland Conference tournament. Was at both games, and then actually got to go over to Mr. Bill's and enjoy the celebration once we were champions. So I got a thorough scouting report, and I'm ready to put that into play.
The program has this been a year-long succession plan?
No, I think that it's been a dream of mine to be able to come here, just seeing the success that he's had. But I don't know that there was any succession plan, so to speak. Just me talking to Will, and just seeing the success that he's had, and knowing the success that I could have if following him, because of we're so similar in our style of play and the way that we see the game and the way that we think. I knew that I knew that there was going to be a lot of people that wanted this job. It's such a great job now, and I knew that Heath would do a thorough search for who could do the best job, and then I'm very, very appreciative that he landed on me.
Coach Armstrong was really number one, and he was the main target, the main chase.
Obviously, I wanted to keep what we had going. There's a certain style of play. There's a model that has been developed here that's been ultra successful. But make no mistake, obviously I knew about Coach Armstrong, and did my due diligence with him over the last 6 to 9 months. But I also did a lot of due diligence on other people too. I mean, Coach is right. This is a very, very coveted job right now. Make no mistake, this is the best one bid basketball league job in the country. So, of course, I had a lot of calls. Of course, I vetted other candidates because I had to. Coach had other people that were interested in him. That's just the nature of the beast. But, like I said out there, the 5 characteristics that I really was looking for, Coach Armstrong at the end of the day, checked all those boxes.
To follow up on that, can you kind of take us through the process? You talked about 6 to 9 months he's been looking at you. When was the first time you really started to look at McNeese as a potential landing spot for you to be the head coach?
Well, like I said, when I came to that tournament and saw the excitement here, at the time, I was a high school coach at the time, and to see the excitement, and I knew that at that point I had head coaching experience, so I felt like then that would be a possibility with my background in the SEC and my proven to be able to recruit at a high level and things of that nature, I thought that I would have an opportunity to at least get in the mix, be in the search. And as far as wanting to do it, that was when I really, really saw like I said, the excitement in the building and just the support and the following of Lake Charles and the facility itself. And there's so many things that make this, and I couldn't agree more with Heath, that make this the best one-bid league job in the country.
Your time at Link, how important was that? Because that's a national program with national recruiting and that. How much is that like a college?
Oh, it's just like a college, and that's where, for me to be able to pull off of those experiences for that 2 years, every kid, we have 10 scholarships. We sign 10 guys. They come away from home. They live on campus. They eat on campus. They have their dorms, and we travel just like a college team. So you got to be able to understand how to manage all that, and I think that that's prepared me to be sitting in this chair right now.
Coach, for you.
Let me just add something to that too, because this is one thing that really, really attracted me to Coach Armstrong. I played at a perennial high school, at DeMatha High School. Now, this is many, many years ago, but I still follow it. The basketball that's played at that level is real basketball. they're real coaches with real salaries, with real budgets. And when he went to Link Academy, he followed someone who was in the national championship game with extremely high expectations. And the next year, Coach took over that program and won the national championship. So he understood. First of all, I know the type of level that he coached at before, and just as important, he understood and has had experience following an ultra successful coach, and had the ability, the confidence, the swagger, if you will, the quiet confidence to be able to do that at that level was something that was really, really attractive to me.
Coach, kind of going off that, you haven't been a head coach at the college level, so how did that experience, your time at LSU and your other time as an assistant coach, how did that prepare you for this job?
Well, obviously, recruiting at that high of a level for such a long period of time showed me that the most important thing is getting really, really good players. You can't be a good coach without great players, and so that helped me to go to Link and have that understanding. And our first year team had 8 high major players on it. So the next team had 10, and then we'll have the 5th pick in the draft here in June or July, whenever the draft is. And I was able to use those experiences from a recruiting standpoint. And then, like I said, just the high-level coaches that I was able to learn under. Andy Kenney's all-time winningest coach in Ole Miss history. Will Wade in year 2 wins an SEC championship, gets to the Sweet 16, and then being able to then go back and work with Scott Drew, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, just to be able to take all those things and now put into my own program. I think that prepared me for this job, and prepared me for this standard of this job to winning championships.
Most coaches that take over programs take over bad teams. All 4 guys that are taking over mid-majors this week, essentially, are taking over winning programs, completely different. How ready for you are the moment of following in the shoes of Will Wade, who you know pretty well? How prepared are you for that?
I think, like Heath alluded to, I think I'm extremely prepared from the fact that, and I know that it's high school, but it's really not. It's a national high school level where kids are being recruited like college. And I took over for a guy who had been a college head coach, who had been a high-level assistant and went 34-2, and taking over that job at Link. The only expectation was to win the national championship. Like here, the only expectation is to win the Southland championship, get to the NCAA tournament, and now win games in the NCAA tournament, which is the expectations that I wanted. To be able to take over a program in my first job that has won a game in the NCAA tournament the year before, that's what I've wanted my whole life. I don't want to hide from the pressure. I want the pressure, and that's what I went into at Lincoln. I think that prepared me, and we went 27-1 and won the national championship. So I think all those things through my path to get here have prepared me to take over the best job in a one bid league, like we said, and like you said, that everybody's taking over a good job, and that's what you want as a coach. You know, you don't want to take over somewhere where it's never been done, or you know, where you don't have the support of the administration, or whatever the case may be. You want all those things, because that's the only way that you can win championships, and that's what I want, and that's the situation that I want to be in. I've been able and been very fortunate to be a part of winning teams everywhere I've been. Like I said, at Ole Miss, we got there and we left as the all-time winning coach in the history of the program. We took over an LSU program that hadn't done a whole lot in the last 4 or 5 years until Will got there, and then we win an SEC championship in year 2 and get to the Sweet 16. So, and like I said, and then they go to Lincoln, are able to win a national championship. And so I've been a part of winning programs my whole life, and that's what I want to be a part of for the rest of my life, and that's the plan.
A lot has been made over the last 2 years with the whole Will Wade, you know, getting a second chance at redemption. You were obviously tied into some of the stuff that happened at LSU. Do you feel like for you, this is almost, even though you were at Baylor, your second chance at kind of redemption?
You know, in a way, yeah, I guess, but I think that was kind of my second chance was given to me there by Link, and then Baylor hiring me. I think this is a little different in being a second chance of redemption, in the fact that you know, I've kind of already been through that, you know. So I think that now this has prepared me for this moment, and I'm ready to go, you know, as my first and initial opportunity. But I'm certainly grateful for it, and certainly am going to make the most of this opportunity that has been given, because it certainly didn't have to be, and that certainly could have been used against me. And obviously, Heath to go out and give Will that opportunity means the world to me. And whether he would have hired me or not, I would have been indebted to this man to my right for the rest of my life because of what he did for Will Wade.
Coach, kind of going off that, what did you learn from your time at LSU, the adversity and everything that came out of that?
You know, that's a great question, and this is the answer that I give, in the sense that I had never really, I've dealt with a lot of adversity in my life, you know, but I had never really dealt with much adversity in my career. It just kind of all going smooth. You know, I went to Chipotle and we won. I went to Birmingham Southern, we won the league. I went to Ole Miss, we win the league. We win the SEC championship, go to the game away from Sweet 16, go to LSU, win. And I've never been fired before. You know, I never had much adversity. And then to get fired, and that hits you hard, man. And you know, you got to kind of go back and start over and just kind of see who you are. I think that tells you who you are. It tells you who Will Wade is, to go through all what he did, and to be able to not let all that noise make him give up. And I'm the same way, and it made me stronger. It made me stronger, being able to go to Link, and the people that I worked with there, and the opportunity that they gave me. I'll be forever grateful, and just the things that I was able to learn there about being a man, and just really helped me to prepare for this. But that adversity makes you stronger. You need it, and I hadn't really ever, like I said, dealt with it much in my career. Never been fired in my life, and now I know that I don't ever want that to happen again. So I'm going to win here so that he doesn't do that.
Will talked about a lot of that. What he went through there and had to go through, how much that changed him as kind of a coach, as a person, and all that. Did you go through some of those same changes?
100%. 100%. I'm not the same person that I was that got fired on March 12th, 2022. I can guarantee you that. I'm a better person because of it. I'm a stronger person because of it. I have a different perspective on life because of it, and I'm use that every day to fuel me and to motivate me to win championships and continue on the path that Coach is on. And you know, I couldn't have done it without him as well. Just us being there together and going through that, and the, you know, having somebody to handle that adversity with, along with my family and other friends. But Coach and I leaned on each other through those times, and we got through it. And I think he told you, and will tell you, that he's a better man and a different person, and I am as well.
Coach, Will Wade and yourself, from this today, an example. I mean, you're answering the questions, you're standing up to it, but isn't it gonna come to a time where you're just gonna get exasperated with it? Should there not be a statute of limitations in regards to us keep bringing this issue up from 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, that's something that you guys got to deal with, I guess. For me, I'm going to answer your questions always because, you guys are doing your job and I got a job to do. I was found not guilty of anything. So, people say the allegations were dropped or this or that. No, they weren't dropped. I went through the whole thing. A panel of judges said that I was a highly credible man and I was found not guilty of any wrongdoing. So, yeah, would I like for it not to be brought up? Sure, but I understand why it is, and I'm going to own up to it, and always be able to answer your questions no matter what.
Let's get to what about the roster now? Are you familiar with this roster? How much will we talk about? How much turnover do you expect, and will you bring anybody from Baylor?
I don't even know if those are questions I can answer from a compliance standpoint, bringing people from Baylor, but we're certainly looking at, we have a great list of guys that we're going to recruit out of the portal. This roster here, the guys that can come back, I want them to come back because they've laid this foundation, and like I told them, to be able to have them to come back and the best teams are player-led programs. And so to have guys back that have been through it and know what it takes more than anything else, when you come into some programs and they haven't won, then you can maybe say those guys don't know what it takes and you revamp the whole thing. But these guys know what it takes to win and they're winners. And I look forward to getting to work with them.
How did your conversations with the team go yesterday?
It went really well, really well. I think that we hit it off, and it's going to be an exciting time with those guys.
Is it possible that you can talk about your closeness to Coach Wade in regards to what players that he may have targeted for Raleigh, or has there been any discussion of that who might follow him?
We have not discussed that, so to speak. We talked more about in depth of other players that could come and fill the spots that we need, along with the guys that we thought might come back to put together a team that can go out and win another championship. But as far as him and what he's doing there at Raleigh, we haven't really discussed that as much. I can promise you that he'll have some great players there.
We live in a kind of a strange world where pipelines are being created from big schools, little schools. Is this a possibility where it would be big brother, little brother kind of situation?
Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? I would think so.
Talking about Javon Garcia specifically, the Southland Player of the Year, he's expected to get another year. What do you see in his plan? How big would it be to have him back next season?
Oh, it would mean the world. I mean, JG has an opportunity to come back and make history. I haven't been able to. I'm not great at research. Maybe you guys can look at it, but I would assume there hasn't been many players to win back-to-back Southland Players of the Year in 3 straight Southland Conference championships and play in 3 straight NCAA tournaments. So he's got a chance to take himself to legendary status, and I want to help him do that.
Coach, kind of keeping the same theme going, you know more than anybody how the landscape of college basketball is right now. There's been hundreds of people already entered the transfer portal as it is right now.
Maybe up to 1,000 now, I think.
It's gonna be really insane over the next few weeks. How important is the first month here for you and the staff that you bring in to really identify what you want in your program and to move forward?
Extremely important, and all those things matter. You got, like you said, you got to identify the needs first, and then you gotta weigh that with the list of guys that you got, and then you got to go get them. And so that's a process, and it's got to be started immediately. And I can assure you, already has been started. And we're going to get the guys that we need and be able to go after what the standard is here of championships.
A couple more. Heath, to that end, you said 6 months and all that. You're always talking about looking at who could be if somebody leaves and that.
For sure.
How important was it to get this done this week with the portal opening on Monday to have a smooth transition so that you keep going?
It was really important, Jim. Look, I mean, when we hired Coach Wade, we knew that he wasn't going to be here forever. So it was my job to start thinking about how do we keep this going? What are the characteristics that I alluded to earlier that are going to be needed to not only keep the continued success but build upon it? but it was really, really important to get this done as quickly as possible because, as you alluded to, the college basketball landscape has changed, and you need someone with boots on the ground, if you will, to start recruiting right away. And so I was doing research, obviously, months ago on a lot of coaches. I mean, like I said, I'm so excited about Coach Armstrong being here. He has done nothing but win in his career. He's won at junior college. He's won at Birmingham Southern. He's won at Ole Miss. He's won at LSU. He's won at Link. He's won at Baylor. He does nothing but win. And I could not be more excited to have him here. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. And the research I've done, the people I talked to outside of Will Wade were all just, they were blowing me away with the praise that they gave for this man. So I'm excited. I could not be more excited to hand the keys to this guy.
And what about staff-wise? When do you want to get a staff? Is anybody allowed to? Have you guys talked about staffs, about how many people, but more importantly, anybody from the old staff stay in?
To my knowledge, I don't think that any of the old staff stay in. I think that, obviously they did a tremendous job for Coach, and I would assume that he wants them all to follow him to Raleigh. That's kind of up to them. As far as our staff, the upcoming staff, I've got a lot of calls out there to a lot of guys. I got a couple guys that I have in mind that I know would do a great job, and I think are going to come on board with us. And I'm super excited about the staff that we're going to get, that we'll put together, and be able to continue this success. Again, it's kind of like the players. The success that you have, that makes recruiting a lot easier. And when you can match the success with this building, with the support and everything else, that makes it, gives you an ability to go after even better players, and makes the recruiting, I don't want to say easier because that's not true, but it makes it, gives you an opportunity to get an even better level of player, and because people now know McNeese State, and it's a national brand, a national name, and want to come here. And same with staff. I have so many great coaches that would love to come and be a part of our staff, and I think that we'll be able to put together, for sure, one of the best staffs in the country.
Keith, for you last year when we talked on Selection Sunday, obviously before the historic season we just had, you mentioned wanting to be the Gonzaga of the South. How does hiring Bill help you guys keep pushing along and try to become the Gonzaga of the South?
I think I think that was I think hiring Coach Armstrong helps us become the goal. And that goal is to become the Gonzaga of the South. And, I think that we have everything in place. We talked about alignment, right? We have alignment from the president to me, to my staff, our supporters, to the coach. Everyone's going in one direction. Very, very few universities, especially this size, have that type of alignment. And for us to continue, look, there's no guarantees, but I will tell you this, that I could not be more comfortable after all the research I did to hand the keys to this guy and take us to even new heights.